What's up, guys? It is I, once again, Yusuf Al Sanad, and today, guys, I want to talk about and review the 2014 World War I drama, Testament of Youth, which is a movie I've been very curious about and wanted to see because I haven't seen many films that takes place during World War I. The last one I think I saw was Stanley Kubrick's Paths of Glory. And I read online that this movie, Testament of Youth, was based on Vera Britain's memoir of the same name, and it details her life experience during World War I and how she aspired to be an Oxford student, and she had three important people in her life, one of who was the first crush of her life, the other was her brother, and the third person was the man who she hoped to marry. And each of these three individuals had a huge impact on her life. And Vera Britain in this movie is portrayed by Alicia Vikander, who I really love and adore in a lot of her films, including A Royal Affair, the Swedish/Danish drama, alongside Mads Mikkelsen. She also did movies like she has done a lot of films, one of which I can't recall its name, but it also stars Benedict Cumberbatch and Daniel Bruhl, the movie based on Julian Assange. That's a very underrated film, but Alicia Vikander is one of those actresses I really love, and I'm glad she's done some recent great films like Ex Machina, and I'm looking forward to seeing her in other films. And this movie also stars Taron Egerton, who is the younger brother of Joel Edgerton, and Kit Harington, who you can see on the HBO medieval drama Game of Thrones. He plays Jon Snow, and this movie, guys, is very interesting, and I really like the setup and how it shows Vera Drake and during her younger days when she's aspiring to be an Oxford student, like I mentioned, and how she has a different type of bond with each of these three men in her life. One of who, her brother Edward Britain, the second one is Victor, and the third is Roland. Sorry, I was gonna say Jon Snow, but Kit Harington plays Roland, and the movie shows her experience with these three men and how much they mean to her, each one of them that had a huge impact on her life. And Vera has always wanted to be an Oxford student, but getting to Oxford was a huge challenge. And Vera, being an independent, intelligent woman, has always wanted to be there and to try to find a future for herself. But because the war broke out, the First World War, her three friends decided to enroll into the army, the British Army, and they fought in the war. I think it took place in France. Yeah. Now this was like, you know, World War I, so it was very chaotic. It was very tragic. You know, both sides have lost so many of their fallen friends, family, and comrades. And the film opens up during Armistice Day, I think in 1918, and it shows what happened before then, prior to the aftermath of the war, Armistice Day, and Vera goes on to become a nurse in the war because she wants to support those she loves, and the war has really changed her perspective on life and has almost destroyed her because of the people she's lost and how the war is really, it's really something that should never have happened. My English teacher back when I was in high school has always told me and my peers that World War I was a mistake. It wasn't even like a war, it was like a massacre on both sides, and how it's a war that never should have happened, with a capital never. And this was the war that really shows just how just how cruel we can be as human beings. Because from what I heard from my teacher and other people, this war wasn't about conflict, it wasn't about power, control, no, it was about ego. It was all about ego, and it wasn't something that was supposed to happen, and it destroys so many lives, and Vera being one of those many people, and Roland, Edward, and Victor, each of them have made sacrifice in their lives. Roland joining the army and leaving Vera behind, it really is something I don't know how to understand, because I don't know what kind of position he was in at the time, but I would have done something else. I don't know if I was that desperate to join the war, but I was kind of sad when they couldn't, like, you know, have something, you know, like a relationship that could have blossomed, you know, Vera and Roland. But this kind of story, guys, is one I really appreciate, because it shows us a time in history during World War I which hasn't been shown in films very much, and how it shows just how horrible this war is. There have been many tragic wars in history: World War II, Vietnam, the Korean War, and the Civil War. But this war is monumental because the fact that it never should have happened. It was a mistake, plain and simple. And this movie, guys, is really, it's heart-wrenching, it's powerful, it's very, I use this word a lot in my videos, poignant. It's a very deep story, and I just love the impact that the war has on Vera, and how it changes her to a totally different person, and how I think she would go on to become an activist trying to put a stop to the war, even though World War II follows and so many other, like, tragic wars that would follow afterwards. But this story, guys, is really amazing. The characters, including Vera, Roland, Victor, and Edward, each of them have a deep story, and they have great development with each other, and their chemistry, especially between Roland and Vera, worked so well. I do appreciate the direction this movie went, and how it really does capture the essence of Vera Britain's memoir and her experiences in the war. And the movie is shot so well. The lighting, the cinematography, art set direction, and everything else, from the costume design to just the way the film looks, it is all absolutely gorgeous. I really love the bond between each of these four characters, from Vera to Victor, Roland, and Edward. And I'm also happy to see Dominic West and Emily Watson play the parents of Vera. I really like Dominic West from shows like The Wire, and I've seen him also in Hannibal Rising, which I know is not a fan favorite, but I really love Dominic West. I really love Emily Watson, and I'm glad to have seen this film. Now, I said a few things, like how I wish that the movie would have done something different, like between Roland and Vera, but that's just my personal take, because I really can't stand to see people lose their love, or lose the chance they could have had to be with each other because of a war like this, which is it's just pointless in the end, you know, the killing and the murder and all that kind of stuff. And the movie makes its point that this war should never have happened. It's a war that really destroyed both sides, and how both sides have lost many people they love. And the one who made the movie, the director, James Kent, I think his name is, I think this is his first movie. I'm not really sure if he's done any other films prior to Testament of Youth, but this is a movie, guys, I really love and appreciate, and I do highly recommend you guys and gals see it. It's one I think you won't regret seeing, and I do believe that this is a film that will have its place among the best films, especially the way it depicts the First World War, and something that we should never ever forget. And that's about it, guys. Thank you all for watching, and if you want to see more from me, then please subscribe to my channel, like, comment if you wish, and if you want to see some gaming content and other videos I make on my gaming channel, please check it out. I'll put the link for that down below in the description box. And until next time, guys, take care, adios, amigos, au revoir, and sayonara.